Okay, so here's the cool thing about Substance Painter. Because we built these up procedurally, what we can do is we just need to Control C with our values folder selected and Control V or paste them into our leather material assignment. So I'm just going to press Control V and you'll see we have our values now assigned to that object. Now it doesn't have the brown strap color. That's totally fine. We will color this after we get the value set up in black and white. So let's move on to the next thing, and that's going to be adding some details. So before doing anything else, let's just finalize our values and add a kind of a flat roughness fill to each of these objects so that they are not so plasticky looking here in the viewport. What we're going to do is go to our fill layer here in the values for our leather, and I'm going to drop that value down to about that to make sure this is set to pass through. I'm confused as to why that's the subtle light. So when you copy and paste like this, sometimes you get weird artifacts. So you need to go in and really zoom in and tweak it so that this edge boost right here on this base value is not as scaled up as it was on the blade. Add something more like that. Check our light here. This is way too glossy. We need to lower our attenuation. Something more like that. Okay, looking good. That. And then now if I am here at our base value, as I scroll this up and down, get something that looks a little better. Okay, cool. Let's press M. And now at the very top of our layer, let's go ahead and add a fill layer. We're going to call this roughness. And we're going to left click this roughness channel and we're going to turn the roughness all the way up. Left click that color channel and turn and hide the color channel. Now remember, the roughness determines how shiny the material is. So for this leather, it's kind of like this drab, dirty leather. I'm going to set it about like so. But for our metal, if I go down here to metal, and I'm just going to right click on our group here, and I'm going to right click on leather here and just assign a color there in the folder structure so I can see what is what. So with metal selected, I'm going to press left click on this fill layer, drop that fill layer into our metal here, and we're going to hide our color, but turn our roughness up. And we're also going to turn our metal to all the way metal and turn our roughness to maybe something like there you go. I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe we'll do 0.5. With the metalness set to 1, it tells the computer that this is a metal object and will shade it as such. And what I'm doing right now is I'm shift right clicking and moving the light over our object here. And the roughness is telling it that it's either a more drab or a more shiny metal. So if I turn the roughness all the way down to black, it basically turns into like liquid metal, essentially a mirror. But if I turn it all the way, it becomes so matte and tarnished, it hardly reflects anything. So I think for this particular metal sword, it would be cooler to see it as kind of a middle shininess. So that's what I'm setting mine to. We're just going to set it to 0.5 on the roughness. If you like it a little more shiny, by all means, but we're going to tweak that roughness value there. So, and there's some cool things we can do. Like, just because this is 0.5, this is just our fill layer. We can make the very edge of the blade and like these sharp edges, those can be shinier too, so they pop more. And that is the essence of PBR, of physically based rendering. So let's get our values established like this. We have our leather, nice and dark. We have our roughnesses set up. The next thing to look at is adding those details. So I will see you in the next video. Best of luck.